Minnesota Timberwolves, they closed out the Golden State Warriors in Game 5 with them advancing to their second straight Western Conference playoffs appearance. And before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that comment section below. But with that being said, man, this is the first time in franchise history for the Minnesota Timberwolves where they didn't went to back-to-back Western Conference playoffs, Western Conference finals. And what I want to say about that is that and he really showing you that everything that he was talking, that he, he likes to talk a lot of trash and think people like to think he cocky, which I just think, he just carry himself with a certain level of confidence where sometimes it can come off as that, but he backs it up with his game. And tonight, you seen the full growth on display. He really wasn't a high octane offensive player when you talk about, from his score, when he talk about his points total, but he was getting done in other areas. He was rebounding. He had 11, 12 assists tonight, and that was the next step. And really coming into these playoffs, and that's really what I was looking for Anthony Edwards. Because sometimes you're not gonna have the shot going. Sometimes the defense is gonna be able to key in and lock in on you and try to force you to make those passes and be able to trust your teammates. And he showed he had the ability to do that. And that's the next step into his game, to be able to, consistently make those type of plays and trust your teammates. And that's how you're going to be able to free up open looks for yourself. Because going down the stretch, he started getting it going. And, shots started falling for him. But this was a good win for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because when you look at it, man, Julius Randle, he been good all series. I told y'all after Game 4 that Julius Randle, he been giving Draymond that work. He been giving Draymond that work so bad that Draymond didn't even match up with Julius Randle tonight. That's how bad it was. That's how bad that Julius Randle been handing it to him. And a lot of people, like I said at the last game, you cannot talk shit about Julius Randle no more. About all his playoff woes and all the previous struggles that he used to have with the New York Knicks. He has now made up for all that. He's on a new team. He needed a fresh start. He you know what I'm saying? He in a new fresh air. He in a new environment. You know what I'm saying? So with this being his first playoff run with the Minnesota Timberwolves, he answering the bell right along with Anthony Edwards. When you look at it tonight, you get 22, 7 rebounds, 12 assists from Anthony Edwards, a double-double. You get 29 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists from Julius Randle. You get 14 from Jay McDaniels, 17 from Rudy Gobert. You get 16 from the veteran Conley. You get 13 off the bench from Dante DiVincenzo. Naz Reid give you 8 points. There was a collective team effort right here. And this is why they is heading back to their second straight Western Conference Finals, which they haven't did in franchise history. Now, it's going to be talks and things like this. We already been talking about Anthony Edwards entering top 5 conversations after the first round series against the Lakers. Now it's time to have different conversations about him being the best Timberwolves to ever put on a Timberwolves uniform. And I still want to give out a huge respect and praise to, to Kevin Garnett. I'm not disowning or, trying to belittle anything that he did when in his tenure with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But the thing is, obviously, he's still the all-time leader in points. He's still the all-time leader in rebounds, all-time leader in blocks, and all those different things in all these different categories. But when you look at it, when it all said and done, if Anthony Edwards can put more seasons like this that he's putting together, which he already did, something that Kevin Garnett hasn't done, which they go to back-to-back Western Conference Finals appearances. Then he's 4 wins away from going to his first ever NBA championship in franchise history in years. I'm not going to say I don't know if they've been to the finals or what, but being to their first NBA finals in, so many years. And him only being 23 years old, so he still have a lot of room and a lot of time to go to be able to expand on his resume that he's building up. But you got to think, at the rate that he's going so far, at the level that he's playing right now, it's only going to get better because he's still learning and he's still growing as a player. And the type of leap that you seeing from him, the type of jumps that you seeing from him, it's the type of jumps that you want to see from your star player, your franchise player. You know what I'm saying? Not just scoring, but you also defending. You playing both sides of the ball. You playing with energy and effort. You playing with pride. You taking this franchise, you taking the fan base of what you do you're taking it personal. That's what you want to see from somebody like Anthony Edwards. Then from Julius Randle, this is what we came here and traded you for. We got rid of Cat. We just came off a Western Conference Finals run, and we traded Karl-Anthony Towns. And everybody said, man, it was a bad trade. It wasn't gonna do this, wasn't gonna do that. And Julius Randle, he came in into this season. And obviously, it didn't start off well. It started off rocky a little bit. And the things that look like the rumors, what everybody was saying on Twitter, on TikTok, on social media, on the media platforms, on the radio shows, was going to be true. But y'all came into these playoffs, and Julius Randle has been nothing short of sensational. He's been spectacular throughout these whole playoffs. You can't throw no type of dirt or salt on Julius Randle's name, man. You can't. Everything that you've been asking, anything that you would have asked for Julius Randle, he's been doing it. He's rebounding at a high level. He's being a good playmaker. Obviously, he had a couple bonehead turnovers, a few games in this series, but still, that's the come when we had a ball a lot. But Julius Randle, for the most part, he averaged throughout 8 assists throughout this series. Last series, he was great against the Lakers. Throughout these whole playoffs, Julius Randle, he's been answering the call, and that's what you've been looking to that's what you've been needing and looking for Julius Randle to step up and make big time plays and help somebody with Anthony Edwards to come along this ride and come along on this journey while they trying to compete for his NBA championship, trying to bring a title to Minnesota. Then you get guys like James McDaniels. You getting contributions from Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, the veteran, who's been through the playoffs. He's been battle tested. He know what it takes, and he's a veteran, so he's experienced. He got experience under his belt. So you add him to the mix. You got a decent bench with Dante DiVincenzo, who y'all acquired over the summertime. Dante DiVincenzo. You got Naz Reid, who just was 6th man of the year last year. You got Nickeil Alexander Walker coming off the bench. You got all these things. You getting all hands on deck from the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's what you wanted to see. Now, that's enough about the Minnesota Timberwolves, because they did what they supposed to do. They beat a beat-up team. They beat a team that they was clearly better than without Steph Curry. And they got the job done in 5 games. They didn't play around with their food. And they closed it out. And now they on to their 2nd straight Western Conference Finals appearance. And they looking who they going to play, the winner of Denver or OKC. Now, what I want to say about the Golden State Warriors is that Jimmy Butler, he has did it again. He has not showed up when you needed that man the most, man. And it's really disappointing to see, because really the way his body language was in these last 2 games, son, it looked like he was disinterested. It looked like he didn't want to be there. It looked like people want to say that he looked hurt. No, man. It looked like he didn't want to show up. Like, if that was how you going to play, man, don't suit up. You was better off not suiting up. Brandon Podziemski, he been terrible throughout this whole series, but today when you needed him the most, he came and gave you 27 big points. Jonathan Kuminga, the last 3 games, he been nothing short of sensational as well. Draymond even tried to give you, try to chip in on the offensive end, even though that's not his game. But even with all those contributions from all these different players, if your best player on the floor, I'm not gonna say on the floor, if your best player on your team, which is currently Jimmy Butler without Steph Curry, if he's not gonna end up his end of the deal, we have no shot. We have no chance. And that's what it looked like. That's how it was tonight. If I'm the Golden State Warriors fan and I'm looking at the Jimmy Butler we just got, we brought him here specifically for this reason. Obviously, they didn't expect that Steph Curry to get hurt, none like that. But what I'm saying, big brother, if we came and signed you, and we need you out there to produce, that's what you got to do. You got to answer that call and step up to the table, man. We paying you $60 million over the next 2 years, and you 36 years old. We got to start looking at like, man, was this the right move to do? In hindsight, when y'all first got him, and y'all were looking like this regular season team, y'all were doing good, and he got y'all into the playoffs and doing all this, and y'all was number one ranked defense and this, that, and etc. in the third. But man, when Steph Curry went down, when you needed this man the most, he wet the bed, man. And that's what y'all was not expecting. Somebody that Jimmy Butler, when he was with the Miami Heat, carried the Miami Heat team to 2 finals appearances. We didn't need you to carry a team to the finals. We need you to at least win us a game or 2. That's all we needed you to do. Even if you don't win the game, we need you to at least come out swinging. Don't have us out here on the battlefield. You around this mud hiding. That's a terrible leader right there. A true leader is willing to put his life on the line, put his body on the line. And what I've seen from Jimmy Butler these last 2 games, even really these last 3 games, because the fourth quarter, what was that? With game 3, he just scored the last 8 minutes. Follow it up with game 4 with only attempting 9 shots. Then you followed it up tonight and facing elimination on the road. You give us shit. You wet the bed, man. Listen, like I said. If you weren't going to be ready to play, if you weren't going to have it on your mind, your ass should have stayed at home, man. Because you playing on people's tops. And that's really going to make a nigga flash out around here. I really just called my little brother out, jokes off him. Because my little brother, he a Warriors fan. See what he thinking. Because I know that man really going to be flashing. Because Jimmy Butler, what the hell we signed you for? We done paid you $120 million. You better find that intensity and energy somewhere. Find that level of spark somewhere. We just gave you all that money. We just gave you all them M's. You gonna come around and play in our place like that? Man, son, we brought you here in order to be able to take over games, especially when Steph Curry is on the bench and things like that. We got somebody who can keep us afloat, keep our head above water. Steph Curry, he hurt right now. He not playing. He not able to play. That means you gonna have to be able to do more. You know what you signed up for. You know what you was getting yourself into when you first got here. You seen how the roster was constructed. When you signed that damn contract. When you agreed to that damn trade, man. You knew if Steph Curry was to ever go down, you knew you was going to have to be the one to step up. And it's the playoffs. And if I want to be 100% honest with you, he really ain't been looking good ever since after game 4 of the first round of the Houston Rockets series. After game 4 of the Houston Rockets series, Jimmy Butler has been nothing short of mid. Straight mid. For real, bruh. But nonetheless, man, Warriors, they got a lot of questions that they need to answer this offseason. You know, especially with roster construction. Because even with Jimmy Butler, even if Steph Curry was even going into next season, if y'all keep this roster together, I do not think that this roster is good enough for y'all to win a championship. Because yes, it'll look good in the first round against a young team, an inexperienced team. Y'all still win 7 games against them. Even if y'all had Steph Curry in this round, I still think this series would have won 7 games. Then if y'all would have won next, you know what I'm saying? It's just too many what else. If things would have just fallen in line in the right spot. Guys are getting older. Steph Curry gonna be 37. Jimmy Butler gonna be 36. Draymond gonna be 36. Them was your 3 lead top guys on your team, and they getting older, and you expecting to have all this onus on them. Steph Curry just showed you an injury, putting too much stress and pressure for y'all not to have no real team around them. You know, y'all got some real questions to answer over there, and they're gonna have to start out with Jimmy Butler. What type of Jimmy Butler is gonna get from moving forward? What type of Jimmy Butler we gonna get next year? Because as we all know, Jimmy Butler, he like to take the regular season off. He like to slack off. He like to miss games. He is injury prone. It's a lot of questions that the Warriors need to be asking, and that need to be answered this offseason with the roster. What we gonna do with Jonathan Kuminga? You know, he gave y'all some good minutes. But Steve Kerr act like he was so hell-bent on not playing that man. I don't know what the hell Jonathan Kuminga did to Steve Kerr. That man must got illegal issues, man. Or some. I don't know what's going on. For him not to be playing out there, and then when you throw him out there, he give you nothing short of 20 points. Man, y'all need 20 extra points. Come on now. Bro, I don't know what it is. Ever since it seemed like this nigga Jonathan Kuminga got back into the lineup, this nigga Jimmy Butler took a step back. I don't know what it is, bro. But it's a lot of answers that the Golden State Warriors need to be answering. And Warriors fans, y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think that need to go on this offseason. What type of moves? Who's leaving? Who's staying? What type of trades y'all looking for? Because I don't know. Now that y'all think about it, Do y'all really trust Jimmy Butler to be able to be there when it counts and when it matters for the Golden State Warriors for the next 2 years at that price tag that he's placed at for the $60 million? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Is Draymond worth all this that we paying him over the next course of these next 3 years? Is this the right team that we need to build around Steph Curry over these next couple years? As this career was winding down. He's 37 years old. So we gotta answer this. But Minnesota Timberwolves, like I said, man, they played good. Back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, the whole Minnesota Timberwolves. Chris Finch been doing a good job coaching the boy, doing a hell of a job on his coaching job. But I'm gonna see all you Wolves fans. I'm gonna see y'all in Game 1 or whoever y'all play in the conference finals. Make sure that subscribe button, make sure that like button. Wolves fans, Warriors fans, hit that comment section below and let me know y'all thoughts on how y'all think this gonna go. And I'm gonna see y'all next time.